Once a record has been written to the database, there is often a need to update it. Perhaps a user has changed their name or email address, and now we need to alter the database record. In SQL, changes to a record are typically accomplished using an update statement. The basic syntax for the statement includes a table name, a set of columns, their corresponding values, and an optional where clause. There are additional options for the update statement that we won't be covering. There are two syntax options for listing your columns and their corresponding values. Recall that for an insert statement, we provide a list of column names and a separate list of values. The update statement has a similar but slightly different syntax. It takes a list of column names and a separate list of column values separated by an equal symbol. However, another common way to write the update uses a set of column and value pairs. You write each pair separated by an equal symbol. Multiple pairs can be included by separating them with a comma. Although the where clause is technically optional, it is often included in an update statement. CockroachDB has a setting for SQL safe updates. This setting is turned on by default and it will prevent using an update statement without a where clause. If you decide to disable this setting, be very careful. Turning it off will allow several dangerous operations. Make sure you know what you're doing. Without a where clause, the update will target every row in the table. This is often not what is intended, and in CockroachDB it is prevented by default. Instead, update statements are usually written to target a subset or a single row. The where clause determines which rows in the table should be updated. Usually you only want to update a single record, and using the primary key in the where clause is a good way to achieve that. However, it is possible to write your where clause to target many records based on a variety of criteria. But be careful. A mistake in your where clause could cause you to update rows you didn't intend. A good practice is to test your where clause using a select statement so that you can see what records it will affect. And be aware, much like with a select statement, if your where clause targets a non-indexed field, it may be slow. Sometimes it is necessary to update a large batch of records. However, you may not want to write this as a single update statement. Like with an insert, a single update to a large number of rows can have drawbacks. If there is a failure, the entire transaction will need to be rolled back and then potentially retried. It is recommended that when an update targets thousands of rows, it should be broken into smaller chunks, the same way we might with a bulk insert. There are various strategies that can be applied for breaking an update into smaller chunks. More details can be found in the CockroachDB documentation.